Winston Engine 9, alert to 3000 Aviation Drive. You will have a 737 with 44 souls on board, 1,000 pounds of fuel. Should be runway 33.
This fall, more than 200 first responders descended on Smith Reynolds Airport and 3 other locations in Winston-Salem. They were practicing training they have been receiving over the past 2 years thanks to a grant from the Federal Emergency Management Agency. The $1.9 million grant is helping Winston-Salem and the surrounding region be prepared to respond to a complex, coordinated terrorism attack, or CCTA. It was the largest grant awarded to a local municipality.
A complex coordinated terrorism attack is any attack that hits 2 or more locations at once. And we have seen this before in Mumbai, India, and the well-known Paris, France terrorist attacks. So this allows us to get our regional partners, including all the municipalities and the surrounding counties, and the state and federal partners to work together to both plan and train for these type of incidents. The first step of the grant process is called a gap analysis. And that's where we pull all our city and county and regional partners together to look at what gaps we have. That could be planning, that could be training, that could be resources, that could be vulnerable targets. And we go through that process to identify our needed areas of improvement. And those needed areas of improvement are the next steps in the process when we do the training, planning, and exercises.
All right, everybody, please listen up.
The training does provide for some very good real-life scenarios, and it's all kinds of different training scenarios. So what we're able to do, especially in our own house, we can make policy modifications, acquisitions of equipment, and other things. So it sheds light on what's lacking.
There's a huge benefit for our department. The CCTA grant allows us to send our teams and our personnel to training programs and get the hands-on training that they normally wouldn't get.
Since the beginning of the grant, we have conducted over 25 specialized training courses that have now trained over 600 first responders and personnel from around the region and the state. We've also conducted multiple exercises. Some of those exercises have had over 200 participants.
The Olson Group, an emergency response consulting firm, is helping manage the process.
Winston-Salem has very talented people doing emergency management on a day-to-day, but there's only so many people to go around. This is a giant grant. It has a lot of moving pieces. And so we manage creating the grant program and kind of keeping it on track under their guidance so that they can focus on their day-to-day and the response needs of Winston-Salem.
The grant will conclude with a capstone exercise in the spring of 2020 involving more than 1,000 personnel over 4 counties.
Obviously, all this training helps our teams to prepare for any response. The training they're getting deals with responding to terrorist attacks. However, it's also additional training for their day-to-day responses. Like if a structural collapse happens here in Winston-Salem, then that's additional training that they normally wouldn't be able to get here locally. So that's a huge plus.
The overall benefit is phenomenal. We're getting some very good training we normally wouldn't have accessibility to.
And we certainly feel at the end of this grant, our community will be much better prepared for any events or incidents.
We can't prepare for everything, but we can prepare and start looking at a response to what could possibly happen here in this area.